Have you ever looked in the mirror and felt like you were seeing a stranger? Not just your reflection, but a deeper, more unsettling version of yourself, one filled with flaws, impulses, and buried fears that you desperately try to keep hidden, even from yourself. It's a fleeting moment of truth, a silent whisper that reveals a part of you you've spent your entire life trying to forget. What you're seeing in that unflinching reflection, my friend, is your shadow. And the man who taught us this most profound lesson was the great Carl Jung. He wasn't just a philosopher. He was a guide to the human psyche, a mapmaker of the soul. Jung said that before we can hope to find light, we must first confront the darkness within. It's a journey not for the faint of heart, but it is the only path to true wholeness. Imagine your psyche as a house. The parts you show the world, your achievements, your kindness, your good qualities, are the beautifully decorated living room and the well-kept front yard. But lurking in the back, in the dusty, neglected basement, is your shadow. This basement holds everything you've ever rejected. The moments of anger you suppressed, the jealousies you denied, the lazy impulses, the selfish desires, the raw ambition you were told was wrong. We spend so much of our energy keeping the door to that basement locked, pretending it doesn't exist. But every now and then it leaks. A misplaced comment, a sudden fit of rage, an act of self-sabotage. That's the shadow knocking on the door, demanding to be seen. The mirror doesn't lie, and neither does your shadow. This isn't a condemnation. It's a revelation, a raw, unvarnished look at the parts of your personality you've hidden from the light. For Jung, the shadow isn't a demonic entity to be feared, but a treasure chest buried beneath the floorboards of your psyche. It's the unconscious, rejected part of yourself that holds everything you deemed unacceptable or unworthy. It holds your weaknesses and your insecurities, yes, but more importantly, it holds immense power, untapped creativity, and vital energy that you've walled off. Think of the timid person who has suppressed their courage, the creative spirit who was told to be practical, or the empathetic person who has denied their ability to say no. All of that raw, unrefined potential, that wild, untamed energy is locked away in the darkness of the shadow. And as long as it remains imprisoned, it will work against you from the inside, sabotaging your relationships and robbing you of your true potential. Think of the timid person who has suppressed their courage, the creative spirit who has been told they aren't practical, or the deeply empathetic person who has denied their ability to set boundaries. All of that potential energy, that raw force of life, is trapped in the darkness of the shadow. And as long as it remains trapped, it will work against you from the inside, sabotaging your relationships, clouding your judgment, and robbing you of your true potential. Your journey begins the moment you decide to turn away from the distractions of the world and face that mirror. It's a journey into the underworld of your own mind. It's the hero's quest, not to slay a dragon outside, but to confront the dragon within. You have to descend into that forgotten basement, unlock the door, and turn on the light. And when you do, you will find things you didn't know were there. You will find the roots of your deepest insecurities, the sources of your most irrational fears, and the forgotten wounds that shaped who you are. This is uncomfortable. It is painful. It is often terrifying. You might find a bully, a coward, or a narcissist staring back at you. But this is the work. This is the truth. The great temptation is to recoil, to slam the door shut and pretend nothing happened. But to do so is to remain a prisoner of your own unconscious. The true power lies in staying put, in acknowledging what you see, and in accepting it. You don't embrace the negative aspects to become them. You embrace them to integrate them. Integration is the key. It's like a sculptor who sees a rough, jagged piece of stone. He doesn't throw it away. He understands that the final masterpiece can only be made by working with all the imperfections. He chips away at the excess, but incorporates the core truth of the stone into his creation. You are that artist, and your shadow is that raw, unrefined material. You learn to listen to it, not to obey its every destructive impulse, but to understand what it needs. You learn to channel its energy toward constructive ends. The rage you suppressed can become the fuel for courageous action. The fear you denied can become a source of caution and wisdom. The selfishness you rejected can become healthy self-care. This is the meaning of the phrase, you become what you found in your shadow. You don't become your demons. You become the man who has faced his demons and emerged whole. You become a person of depth and character, not someone who has only known the sun, but someone who has journeyed through the darkness and returned with a wisdom that can only be earned through experience. You stop projecting your own flaws onto others. You see people more clearly because you're no longer clouded by your own hidden fears. Your relationships deepen because you're finally able to be authentic. You find a sense of peace that doesn't come from a lack of conflict, but from the quiet confidence of a man who knows himself, fully and truly. This is the essence of Jung's process of individuation, the journey to become a whole, distinct individual. It is not about perfection, but about completion. It's about becoming the person you were always meant to be, not by trying to be someone you're not, but by fully embracing who you are, the good and the bad. It's a lifelong process, but every step into that dark basement is a step toward freedom. The man who runs from his shadow is a slave to it, always looking over his shoulder, afraid of what might be revealed. But the man who turns and faces it, who looks at the monster in the mirror and says, I see you, you are part of me, is a man who can finally walk in the world with purpose and power. He has earned his wholeness, not by avoiding the battle, but by winning it within himself. So, I ask you again, when you look in the mirror, what do you truly see? Don't look for the perfect version of yourself. Look for the real one. Look for the raw, unedited, and powerful truth. Because the mirror doesn't lie. And the moment you stop lying to yourself about what you see, is the moment you start living. The man you are searching for is not out there. He is waiting in the reflection, ready to be acknowledged, ready to be integrated, ready to be made whole.